This is sacred ground. It was a community that was thriving and had people live there that gave much back to this county and this history of Woodford County.
We all shared together as family, and it was a loving and peaceful place.
Huntertown was an African-American hamlet settled in 1871. And a hamlet was a community of formerly enslaved people who were able to purchase their own property and start their own lives in a new place with freedom after the Civil War was over.
In 1871, the first 5-acre tract was purchased by a U.S. colored troop veteran, Jerry Gatewood. Soon after, African-American families settled there, and together they formed a community.
It was a thriving community for over 130 years.
Residents had almost everything they needed to survive and make a living: tobacco fields, vegetable gardens, livestock, stores, and most of all, each other. An important element in the community was the Huntertown Colored School, which operated from 1895 until 1940. Anything they needed to travel for, they were able to catch the Rhiney B, which was a railroad that ran straight through Huntertown and operated until 1932, when the railroad was discontinued.
I was born and raised here, and I picked blackberries along the railroad tracks, and people would buy them from me in the summertime.
We never had running water out there. They always called the land crawfish land.
A lot of the times, the land that was sold to former slaves was not land that would be suitable for agricultural purposes. So it was a wetland. It had always had issues with water.
Residents found ways to live around the flooding problems up until the community was split once the Bluegrass Parkway project was complete in 1965.
It really hurt everybody when the BG Parkway came through, because it took my aunt, her house, and some of the other residents' homes when they put that bridge in. It wasn't long before people started moving.
On the community's behalf, Woodford County tried applying for numerous development block grants, but after a series of denials, they decided to buy out Huntertown residents with a different block grant and allow them to relocate.
When they offered everybody, the funding for their homes and everything, I was really, sad, but it was going down, and a lot of the people that I knew was passing away.
While teaching social studies at Woodford County High School, Sue Finney and her academy students decided to focus on the story of Huntertown.
As I began to understand the stories of this place, it just captured my heart. And I said, when I retire, we're going to make this happen.
Once Sue retired in 2018, her and a group of volunteers came together and began digging deeper into the history of the Huntertown community. In 2019, Woodford County's Parks and Rec Department agreed to take on the remaining 38 acres in Huntertown as part of the Woodford County Park System. The group of volunteers began restoring what was left of Huntertown.
What we want to see happen is to interpret the community of Huntertown in a way that will engage the whole community today.
In August of 2021, on the 150th anniversary of the Huntertown community founding, the land was dedicated as a community interpretive park. The park project is still in the early stages, but volunteers plan for it to be a green space that preserves and celebrates the rich history of Huntertown, as well as the history and significance of wetlands. It's expected that the park will offer things such as a pavilion for gatherings, a community garden space, ghost structures of former buildings in Huntertown, a memorial for formerly enslaved war troops, and even an outside classroom for students.
It's very relaxing to go out there now because it's quiet, it's peaceful. Oh, it's wonderful. It brings back a lot of childhood memories, and it's comforting when I go out there and walk around. And the pavilion that they're going to put out there, I'm looking forward to that because it would give families a chance to go out, and have picnics and family reunions and all.
I think it's the most wonderful thing I've seen in a long time. And thanks be to God that I was here to see it. So many of them gone on and didn't see it. But I imagine they're looking down today.
Enjoy more Kentucky life. Subscribe now.